I am here in Houston this morning. I am at the Buffalo Bayou, which has swollen to 5 times its normal size. You can see behind me is normally a walkway, but now it is under all of these sort of very rapidly flowing river waters. And we've seen so many amazing stories of survival all across this city. You're looking, I believe, at video right now of Spring, Texas, where boats are out still looking for people who are, even at this hour, days later, still trapped in their homes. We don't often, however, get a picture of exactly what's going on inside those homes unless somebody happens to be with a photographer. And our next guest is that very person. We have here National Geographic photographer. Her name is Erin Trieb. She normally documents trouble spots across the globe, like Iraq and Afghanistan, but this week it was a disaster in her own home. She was back here at home. She was visiting her mom here in suburban Houston, and Harvey came to pay a visit, and Erin joins us now. So, Erin, you are often in disaster zones of one kind or another in Iraq or Afghanistan, but when you came home to visit, you were not expecting what you encountered this week. So tell us what was unfolding in your mom's house.
Right, Allison. Yeah, I was home visiting my mom and sister just for a short trip, and the storm started hitting last Friday and really took hold of the neighborhood that they both live in on Saturday. You know, the night before I went out of my mother's house and water was starting to come to the doorstep, and I thought overnight it would drain, but it didn't. And then the next morning we went outside and we were in a foot of water outside of her house. And
so you grabbed your camera. You started documenting this, as you will, because you're a photojournalist. This is what you do for a living.
Right.
But what were you thinking when you realized that the water was encroaching on your mom's house and your sister's house was even worse?
Well, you know, my first job, I feel like, is to help my family and to be there for them. But I tried to do that while taking photographs. And for me, at the moment, the most important thing was actually video, because I could see the water inch by inch seeping into my mother's house. So I just started taking selfie videos of myself and my mother while this was happening. And yeah, I mean, it's really hard to balance trying to take pictures of a catastrophic event and being there for your family at the same time. So that was a new experience for me.
I can imagine, you know, which one, where your priorities are and what you think you're supposed to be chronicling versus helping. And so what did end up happening? What did you decide to do?
Well, you know, the water began coming into my mother's house after we were hearing anything from a foot to 3 feet, and she lives on a one-story house, and I did not want her to be waist deep in water and stranded and have to get up onto the roof. So after about an inch came in, I decided it was time for her to evacuate. So we gathered up as much stuff as we could. She had 3 dogs. We had to put them in trash bins and basically carry them out into the floodwaters. Luckily, we found refuge at a neighbor's house across the street, so we didn't have to go that far. But after that, I kept documenting and ended up wading over to my sister's house, which was about 4 blocks away in chest-deep water.
I mean, that's just an incredible story also, how one house across the street cannot be under the deluge, and right across the street it can be a catastrophic situation. But your pictures really help capture what goes on inside these homes of tens of thousands of people today, even millions. So, Erin, thank you very much for sharing all of your story and your pictures with us. Great to talk to you, and we're glad to hear that your sister and your mom are doing well.
Yeah, they're doing much better. They're starting to dry out things. So luckily my family's okay, and that's the most important thing.
Amen. We're really happy to hear that. Thanks so much, Erin.